how did it go when you were in the hospital and like you didn't show up to work? I mean, I don't know how that goes.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I called when I was, that's actually one thing I do remember when I was getting wheeled into the hospital from the ambulance. I told my mom to call my boss and tell him I wouldn't be in on Tuesday because we had Monday off. And my mom was like, that doesn't matter right now.
Right, yeah.
But to me,
You're like, let them know.
I was like, tell him I'm not going to be there on Tuesday. And yeah, but
the loyalty I love.
They were very supportive.
Did you go on disability?
Yeah, I'm still on disability.
Yeah.
And
I can only imagine if you have to lay down every so often.
Yeah, I get it. It's funny. Doing things where I'm moving is easier than sitting or standing still for any period of time.
Yeah.
Walking is easier than standing. Sitting is easier than standing. Standing is
a lot.
Arguably the worst. Standing still. If I can walk and shift my weight, it's not as bad. Ironically enough, the one place where I'm in the least amount of pain is the gym.
Wow.
Because I'm constantly standing up, sitting down, laying down.
Everything's moving around.
Putting my weight on my hands to do push-ups.
The weight shift. Yeah.
I'm constantly moving.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I mean, I'll be there for an hour and the time will go by in the blink of an eye.
Wow.
Because
the gym is a great place to just let things.
I also I think the endorphins help.
Yeah.
Like it's got something to do with the chemical release. Helps to distract me.
Well, and that's like the adrenaline junkie too.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect place for you, actually. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
We'll see you like hanging off the wall or the ceiling like a monkey one of these days.
I get yelled at sometimes that I push it too far.
Yeah.
Like, you got to calm down. I'm like, you're right. I should.
Yeah.
This is a bit too much.
Well, that's okay. That's exactly how you're supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, I got to push the limits, you know?
Yeah. Still, I mean, you can
be doing it the rest of my life.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just keep on going here with your story. First of all, it's fascinating that you're sitting here today and standing and walking in here after all that you went through. I know I have a medical background, so I know what you're saying as you're saying the sacrum and all of your injuries. I'm just picturing them in my head, and I'm like, wow, that is a lot. At the same time, too, you could never, ever, ever tell somebody the journey that you have been through. You could never tell them verbally
not at all.
How awful it was. I mean, it sounds like it was awful. And I'm so sorry that, that happened. But as you're popping through this, I know the one gentleman had passed away. Have you spoken to the other boy who was there?
Definitely. The other.
And how did he end up? What happened to him?
So he had nerve damage issues just like myself. But his mother is a physical therapist. So he bounced back a lot quicker than I did. I know he had femur injuries and I think he had a pelvis injury as well. But I remember being in the hospital and I'm still laying there with tubes in me. And I remember vaguely hearing somebody say, oh yeah, he stood up for the first time today. I'm like, man, I wish I could stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's doing good. He lives in Charlotte. And the last I heard from him, unfortunately, it's been a while. I really need to reach out to him. Again, just a very genuinely nice kid. I call him a kid. He's younger than I am. But he is,
he's a man now.
Fully grown man.
Yeah, he's in his 30s, right?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Or so.
But from what I've heard through the grapevine and seen online, because we're still friends social media wise, he seems to be doing great, up and moving around, and I'll see him in photos without a cane or anything like that. Yeah. So it seems like he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, considering everything that happened, that's great news.
He had his own battles for sure. I know that for sure. The sounds of the aftermath, I know he was struggling with his own stuff.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to my next question. Did you have any PTSD that you dealt with prior to, and even now? And I say that because PTSD is, it's something that I don't want to take lightly. But did you have or any anxieties or any?
I would say
strong feelings when something happened, a sound or a smell or a frustration.
I would say, I think my anxiety has definitely gone up. But I don't necessarily know if it's any one thing in particular that triggers it, but I do get very frustrated just in general at the things that I used to be able to do and I can't do now. They will frustrate me. Is it classified as PTSD? I don't want to take away from that struggle that people have to deal with. And I want to say, no, I don't think my increased anxiety or my frustrations with my physical limitations, I don't want to classify that as PTSD because that is a very difficult thing that people have to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't want to discredit it.
And there's certain levels too of that too. But yeah, no, that's very bold of you. So I guess my next question is like, when you can't do something, is there something that you've done to work through those that you can kind of share with other people if they're kind of going through something like that that's worked for you?
Try harder.
Try harder. Yeah.
I am, it's so hard for me to admit defeat.
Yeah.
So the majority of the time it's one of those things where I have to practice and I have to accept that the 100% of what I'm capable of it's a different 100%.
Yeah.
And once I get that in my mind, I'm like, okay, I used to be able to do it this way. I understand I can't do it that way anymore.
Yeah.
What's my new 100%?
Yeah. That's
what's
a great
the
way to think about it.
what's the new norm? And then I shoot for that. And then sometimes I push it and I try to go even further than that and further than that. But it's the expectations. Like if I get super frustrated or anything like that, which still happens to this day, and it'll probably happen with me for the rest of my life.
Well, it happens in general to people who get older.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine, yours being cut off so young. And they do say that you can do things 100 different ways.
You can.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you can't do it the same way that you used to, there's, you can try different ways. You just kind of have to have some good improvising skills. You have to maybe step that up a notch or.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's hard to put yourself in a position where you remember how easy it was to do something one way. And then you have to change it all.
Yeah.
Especially like a lot of times I'll refer to walking. When we first as a human being learn how to walk, we're so young we don't even remember it. And you have hundreds of different muscles firing 100 different ways to get you to balance and to take a step, and your feet counter adjusting to balance and everything that your brain just does automatically. That because you're a human being. We all, we learn to walk.
And now the messages from your brain to the rest of your body are kind of
it's different.
Go a different path.
And
or a little bump, or a little has to jump over. Yeah, something.
Exactly. I have to create different pathways and some pathways are just gone.
Yeah.
I don't have them anymore. So learning to walk again that was tough.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I noticed that you have something on the bottom of your foot.
Yes.
So you have a shoe, you have a brace of some sort around, and then there's kind of like a buckle that's tied to your shoe.
Yeah.
Does that keep your foot up?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a drop foot brace.
Uh-huh.
So from the knee down on my left side, I have very limited feeling.
Okay.
I have a very small amount of let me get these terms right. I should know this. Plantar flexion is pushing down with your foot. And then maybe the opposite of that would be dorsiflexion. There you go. I have zero plantar flexion, or at least I thought I didn't have any. Recently, I was laying flat and I tried to point my toe, what I thought would be how it feels to do it now.
Okay.
And my fiance, I called her in the room. I said, can you look at my foot and tell me if it's moving? And she said, yeah, it is.
And that was just recent?
That just happened maybe 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So, I can't tell when I'm standing.
Right.
But at certain positions, my muscles, I guess, are different. I don't know. It was a little bit. It was like a quarter of an inch, half an inch.
It's okay.
But it happened.
That's success.
But I do have pretty good dorsiflexion. I would say maybe like 30%-ish.
Yeah.
On my left foot. So it's just enough if I'm wearing like a Croc or something that's very light. It's just enough to be able to keep my toe up. So when I walk, I don't trip.
Yeah.
But anything heavier than that, I have to put a drop foot brace on, or else I'll just be tripping over my toe
Yeah.
constantly.
No, that's
Yeah.
smart.
Mhm.
I love that.
And if I go down, no thanks.
No way. We don't want that to happen. So a couple more things before we do the question of the day.
Sure.
Two things. One thing is, let's start off with, when you were laying in the hospital, was there anybody who came in where there was a moment, and I imagine it like being your brother or somebody that, or maybe a girlfriend at the time, I don't know, came in and you were just like, you just kind of started to bawl. You're like, yeah, this is your brother now. This is your boyfriend now. Like, is there a time where somebody came into the room and you just were like, oh my gosh, just so upset to see? I mean, obviously your parents and stuff, but you're going through so many emotions. But tell me how that went.
So I had that emotion a lot of times, just from pretty much anybody who came in that was a member of my life that,
Wow.
like my dad's cousin and his wife showed up, and that was incredible. I had one of my very best friends that the longest friendship I've ever had. That was probably the most emotional I got. So our mutual friend, he flew down. He almost flew down the day it happened, and my mother called him. And my mom told him, he won't even know you're here. Which then he started crying. He was like, "Oh my God, it's that bad." And she said, let's get him through the surgeries, and then when he comes out of, being medically induced, then let's get you down here. He would fall to pieces.
Yeah.
And he made the flight from Philly to Charlotte, and my parents picked him up. And that was pretty overwhelming, because for a couple different reasons. He has gone through a lot in his own life, losing people close to him. So to know that I was almost another one, that was tough for me. And then, to see his reaction, he's he wears his heart on his sleeve. So he couldn't hide.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a mutual friend. I know him well. As you're saying this, I'm like, yes.
He couldn't hide what he was feeling. And he actually was there and witnessed me going back into shock, and he had to experience that whole thing which I feel so bad that he had to see that. It's terrible. But other than him, other than him and other family members, I would say the strongest emotion I felt, I was still on the ventilator. And I don't actually know if I put this in the book now that I'm thinking about it. I was on the ventilator and my hands were tied down because I woke up when I was still on the ventilator, and they were afraid I was going to try to pull the tubes out. And they brought in a Saint Bernard therapy dog. And I remember putting my right hand out and that dog putting his head under my hand. And I cried. I was like, it was just, and he just sat his head there and just looked at me and just kind of looked around the room. And man, it just, as soon as I was physically capable to take care of a dog, I had one present itself to me. My dream dog. And I said, I need this dog.
Everything
I need it in my life. Yeah. And
I can't imagine you laying there. Everything's so unfamiliar. You're completely broken. And the head of that dog is probably familiar. It's something that was like brought into the hospital, and you got to feel it. And
just a hospital therapy dog. It really was just like, oof. Yeah, that was, I can't believe I got to go back and check and see if I put that in there. That was a very strong emotion. The only one to trump that was probably, because that was the first very visceral exterior, because my mom was there, and that was obviously very emotional with my mother, and all these doctors are there, but that was the first break from that reality back to a past reality. I was like, oh wow, okay, I remember that.
Probably made you miss the outside even more.
It did. It did, but
lots of emotions flowing.
I would have taken it over not having it. It really was. And
there's
now,
more good than bad, right?
Well, and now my dog, I got to be a therapy dog for me, but I recovered a little better than anybody was anticipating. So now I'm actually
it's fabulous.
Looking forward to getting her into classes and training her to be a hospital therapy dog. I want to bring her in to hospitals and give people what I had. And she's very people friendly. She's a husky, so she's got a personality
yeah.
that's a lot of fun to watch, you know?
Probably beautiful too.
Oh,
We have
yeah,
some little radio
absolutely.
going on.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that dog, whew, yeah, that just
Yeah.
that grounded me.
Okay. When did you meet your fiance?
Oh.
Let's end with your family now.
The happy note. Yeah. So I met my fiance a few years back now. We met in a couple of years, 2023 we met. It was kind of set up. It was kind of
Who set you guys up?
mutual friends of ours
Okay.
that lived in the same neighborhood. He was actually my trainer after my accident.
Oh, wow.
I went to.
So you met him because of your accident?
Yeah.
So your accident was 2018.
Mhm.
You started walking in 2021.
No, I'm sorry. I went to the wedding in 2021. I started walking in 2019.
Okay.
That's when the walking journey began, but it took that long for me to get
off the
from
pain
a
medicine.
rollator
Yeah.
to a walker to a cane. And then I also had to backtrack to get off the medicine.
Yes.
And I had to do all of that before, because the wedding that I was going to, I was the best man.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, his brother was the best man, but I was standing in as the best man in the photos because his brother was also the officiant.
Okay.
So, and I was very small wedding. I was one of very few invited, and I was like, I need to do this. You know, I have to be there for him. So the accident happened in 2018, started walking in 2019, took that journey, met my friend who was the trainer, originally just my trainer, and that was 2019.
And it's a male?
Yes.
Introduced you to your
He wound up
fiance
introducing me
in
to her.
2023.
2023.
Okay.
We kept in touch. He trained me through 2019 and into 2020, I believe.
What made him want to introduce you guys together?
Pity? No, I'm just I don't know. He is a very genuinely nice person. I am so fortunate to have all these really nice people in my life.
Well, it doesn't just come.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably deserve it a little bit down the road, right?
And I like to think so.
Yeah.
I definitely think there are things in my past that sometimes I wonder if the accident was karma for. I wasn't a horrible person, but there are things I look back on, I'm like, wow, that was not nice of me. Just not nice. Like, that's just something that I should not have done.
Yeah.
I'm a better person than that.
Well, even that you can even say that out loud is wonderful. And we all have that.
We all
right?
have
Let's
that,
face
yeah.
it.
And so I stayed in touch with him, and I think he knew me enough to know that I was very set in my ways. I was like, I have my dog. I'm going to be alone the rest of my life. And I get rid of that dog. I'm going to get another dog, and it's just going to be me and a dog for the rest of my life. And that's what I want. And I don't want to put my burdens on anybody else. I'm just going to live my own life.
But then you met.
And I think he was tired of hearing me say that. And that's why
Yeah, back to the other question. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why he just said, have you met so-and-so
Yeah.
yet? And I was like, no. And then one chance encounter turned into two. And then I asked her for her phone number, and we went on a couple dates. And because I was the neighbor's friend, it made the transition of introducing me to her kids so much easier.
Yeah, which is
because
important.
I was able to come around as Dylan's friend.
Yeah.
This is Dylan's friend. This is Dylan's friend.
Yes.
They knew Dylan. They were comfortable with Dylan. And then, that rolled into it. Made.
Well, how old were they when you met them? They little or?
Yes. Well, not super little. 6 and 9.
Okay. Yeah.
They're 2.5 years apart. I met them right before the youngest's 7th birthday. And then they can't get rid of me.
Well, that's great. And last thing, when's the wedding?
Oh my gosh.
Please tell me you have a date.
Sooner rather than later, but no, we don't have a date.
No problem.
I know I'm very patriotic, so I'm very, very adamant on having it happen in 2026 because it's the anniversary of our country. And I would love to be able to say 250th anniversary and our wedding, same year, roll forward like that. So But, let's elope, let's go to a resort in the Florida Keys,
Yeah.
let's go to the mountains in Tennessee. It's just, we don't know.
Yeah, that's
We
okay.
just don't
You don't
know.
have to know.
Yeah,
You
we'll
do
get
whatever you
there.
want. Well, let's get to the question of the day.
Okay,
Okay, this is what you picked. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What's something that you used to value that you no longer do?
Something I used to value that I no longer do.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can phrase this the right way. I would say it's the acceptance, admiration, uh, of people that I shouldn't be seeking it from. So I guess being worried about what random people or strangers or people who are not important to me in my life, worrying about what they think. For a long time, I was like, oh man, everybody's staring at me. I'm walking into this room. And this is even before the accident. I had a lot of self-esteem issues growing up. I was a heavier kid. I was not into physical fitness. I didn't have a lot of friends in the beginning. I was very quiet. The quiet part you wouldn't be able to tell right now, but
Yeah.
I just,
That's usually how it goes.
I was very
Yeah.
shy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Shy to
r-
60.
yeah, I know, for sure. And, so I was always worried about what everybody else thought. And
Yeah,
then
sure.
getting into the gym, it was everybody staring at me. Meanwhile, everybody at the gym is thinking the exact same thing, that everybody is staring at them.
Yes.
And no one's staring at anybody. They're all just concerned
Staring at
with
themselves in the mirror,
Yeah.
making sure that they look good for the other people.
Exactly.
But nobody's looking at each other.
And
Yeah.
and I think it's a 50-50 split. The accident for sure, because I just got to a point where I said, I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care what these random people think
Yeah.
that I'll never meet in my entire life. I don't care. But then the other 50% that got me there, that really put me over the hump, I think it's my fiance's kids.
Yeah.
They keep me very humble. They like to joke around with, calling me,
Yeah.
heavy set and like all this stuff and
So
using
much more fun that way. There is a
using-
study, by the way, that when you can banter back and forth like that with your family or your friends,
Yeah.
that it's a tighter net relationship.
I would like to think so, because I
It's
know
true.
they're not being serious,
Yeah.
but when you have a 7-year-old come up to you and pat you on your back and go, "Did you go to the gym today?" It's like, "Well, why?" And they say, "You kind of look a little wide."
A little
It's,
wide.
oh man, I think I should go back to the gym today. But it made me realize like there's a lot that you can concern yourself with and get overwhelmed with, and it bogs you down, and then you wind up not being able to even see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then you say,
Such a
"Well, why even bother
distraction.
if I'll never be there?"
Yeah.
And instead, I mean, I still do, everybody does, and I'm still self-conscious about the way I look, the way I walk, the way they put me back together. I'm a little
It sounds like you're still so loved, though, through all these little anxieties that you have. And you might think that you look different or whatever, but still so loved. I mean, for, the child to say that, and then I'm sure, it was out of love in a sense, because, and let's see what his reaction is too. He wouldn't spend the time if they didn't care. So
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I think maybe I'm surrounded by a lot of people who love me because now they feel like they have to. So I've trapped them.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Go get them. Go get them.
They're trapped. Like, hey, now they have to feel bad for me. So everybody's going to be my friend. No, I count my blessings every day. And I've told my fiance multiple times, and she'll probably get upset for me saying this because she hates to think about the thought of it even bothers her. She is just a bleeding heart for everybody. Like, she's very passionate about just loving people.
Yeah.
She's an incredibly wonderful person, but I've told her multiple times, and I'll say it until the day I die. If somebody came to me in 2018 and said, "Do you want to meet the love of your life? Do you want to meet the person that you're going to grow old with and make memories with?" And I said yes, and they said, "But in order to do so, you have to experience the most unimaginable pain."
Give me chills.
If I knew it was her in the end, I would do it all over again.
Go through the accident again.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Hands down, I'd be the person I am today.
Love.
Yeah, she really is just like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I got to where I am, but I'm so very thankful
Sounds
that
fabulous.
I'm here. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
And to have that true love too after all of this is, I'm so happy for you, Cory.
I don't even, sometimes I don't even, like, it doesn't even register sometimes with me, like what I have.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, thank you so much for telling your story today.
Oh, I'm
truly in so many different ways, ambitious, amazing, sad, courageous. I mean, I literally had every emotion going through this. So thank you for sharing it.
Of course. I appreciate you having me. It was this is great.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. And let us know what your podcast is.
So right now, my good friend, the trainer, and I told him the other day, I was like, you infected my life. I can't get rid of you now.
That's fabulous. Love that.
Yeah. And so he and I started a podcast. It's called Take It Down a Notch.
Take it down a notch.
Yeah. And it's because we both are, he is married to, and my fiance, his wife, my fiance, are both quieter introverts. And they're constantly telling us that we need to chill out and take it down a notch. So I thought it'd be funny to make a podcast where we can just talk.
That's awesome.
And get it out of our systems so that when he goes home and I'm home, we can maybe talk a little less for their sake. So they have a little sanity in their lives. So it's called Take It Down a Notch. And we're going to be launching it at the middle of 2025, hopefully soon. And we're going to be on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook.
Fabulous.
We're going to be everywhere. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you for coming. And don't forget, viewers, to check out Take It Down a Notch. And join us next time for the fabulous, dun, da, 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 the Deep End at its finest. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.